Form 3 Science Second Midterm Chapter 10 Transport in Flowering Plants. Plants require water to carry out photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Plants use carbon dioxide and water in the presence of chlorophyll and light to make glucose and oxygen. Now you know plants require water to carry out photosynthesis and other life processes. How do plants take in water? By roots. Roots can take in water or absorb water into the plant from the soil. Now I will discuss how roots has adapted to take in water. Do you know what are the structures of a root of a plant are adapted to take in water? We can do a small activity. Place the onion in a clear glass jar with the root end down as shown in this slide. Add just enough water to the bottom of the container to cover the roots at the bottom of the bulb. After few days, you can notice the growth of new roots. First, you can observe the roots of an onion by using a hand lens. Then you can see tiny hair-like structures. They are called root hairs. Each root hair is actually a single specialized cell of the root epidermis. The root hairs grow outwards into spaces between the soil particles. The regions just behind the growing tips of the roots of a plant are covered in thousands of tiny root hairs. These areas are the main site of water absorption by the roots. In this slide, first picture, you can see the location of root hairs. When root hairs are observed under microscope, you can see a long, thin projection of root hair cell. How water is drawn up by the root hair cells? By diffusion. Do you remember what is diffusion? Diffusion is the net movement of particles from high concentration region to a low concentration region down a concentration gradient. The long, thin outer projection of root hair cell penetrates between the soil particles. High water content or high water potential in soil, but lower water content or lower water potential in roots. So water can move from soil to the root hair cell. For this process, no energy is needed. Inside the plant, water moves from cell to cell. If a cell has a higher water potential than the cell next to it, water will move from the first cell to the second cell. In this way, water can move cell to cell across a plant tissue until water being taken up by the xylem in the middle of the root. How do root hair cells adapt to absorb more water and minerals? It has a long hair-like structure. The root hair cells penetrate between the soil particles, reaching the soil water. Root hair cell has a large surface area to absorb water at a higher rate. Now you can do a small activity. Take 3 different sizes of capillary tubes and dip in the colored water at the same level. In which tube does water rise more? The thinnest capillary tube will make the water level reach the highest position. When we place a capillary tube in colored water, the colored water moves up the capillary tube. The phenomenon of water rising up a thin tube is known as the capillary action. As the diameter of the capillary tube decreases, the height of the liquid moving up the tube increases. Where do the water and mineral salts go after they are absorbed by roots? How do leaves and other parts of the plant get water? You can do some activities at home to find out that. You can take a celery stem and dip in the colored water as shown in the first picture. Another activity. Take 2 beakers with 2 different colored water. Take the celery stem and cut vertically halfway. Each half of the stem need to be placed in 2 containers with 2 different colored water. Then you have to keep the setup overnight. What can you observe? If you used one colored water, leaves become that particular color. If you use 2 different colors, as shown in the second picture, then you can observe leaves turn into 2 different colors. When we check the cross section of the stem, we can observe tiny colored dots on it. From this activity, we can prove that water moves up the stem through structures like capillary tubes. What are those capillaries? Xylem vessels. Xylem vessels transport water and dissolved mineral salts from the roots up the stems and to the leaves. They are dead, hollow, cylindrical tubes run through the roots, stems and veins in the leaves. Water and dissolved mineral salts absorbed by root hair cells. Water and mineral salts can move cell to cell across a plant tissue down a concentration gradient until xylem vessel. Then xylem vessel transport water to the other parts of the plant. The other plant transport tissue is phloem. Phloem vessels transport the product of photosynthesis from the leaves to the other parts of the plant. Phloem vessels are long and hollow tubes. In this slide, you can see the position of the xylem and phloem vessels in a leaf, stem and root. Xylem vessels are arranged in the center of the roots. Xylem vessels are arranged in a circular manner of the peripheral region of the stem. Typically, it lies closer to the interior of the stem with phloem towards the exterior of the stem. In leaf, xylem and phloem are arranged as various. Now we came to the end of this lesson. Do you remember what are the things we discussed? Structure of roots, movement of water and mineral salts, transport of water and mineral salts, xylem vessels and phloem vessels. Now you can answer for the following questions and revise your memory. Thank you, my dear sons and daughters.